I'm excited about this one though. Okay, coming up on today's edition of the Art Business Morning Show, we're talking about how art sales are up 300% year over year, and specifically, it's no time to gloat, Nick. Okay, 3 trends underpinning this year's Q4, and while there's still time to get into the game. All right, that goes the intro. All right, you guys, welcome back to another edition of the Art Business Mornings, the show, okay, that will put you on a path to a 6-figure a year plus art business. Now, I've got a couple different sections going on. Nick, can you monitor the comments in the yard?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So the first topic I included is it's no time to gloat, okay? And I think that's an important line because it's sort of a reminder to me that it could have just as easily gone the other way for us, okay? Could have just as easily gone the other way. That's number one. We could have had egg on our faces. Number two, these are very interesting times in the sense that what have we gone from? We've gone from like art business software and marketing educators to Sunday morning pontificators, right? And like and talking heads on the news stations. Since this pandemic hit, and Nick and I found ourselves in this weird situation where we're literally like somebody on like, you know, one of the cable news stations doing analysis on what's going on and making projections, right? And it's very easy to have egg on your face. But when I say it's no time to gloat, I don't want to gloat. I don't think he and I are wizards of smart, but we've been saying things on record on this show since March. Things like, you know, increased e-commerce adoption was going to make this the biggest Q4 in the history of art. All home decor sales, of which art is one, was going to explode. The fact that retail is not coming back in any substantive way, okay? Selling art and photography directly via video is going to be the biggest disruption in how art sold in the last 100 years. I want to rant on that one in a second too. And like, I think a lot of the trends, Nick, seem obvious, and I don't think we were so far out on a limb, but there's a whole lot of people that are still not believing a single solitary bit of them that I talk to week in and week out, and the writing is so on the wall.
Yeah, and you know, the other thing that I'll add too, that the drum that I was banging particularly hard for the last 6 months or 8 months, right? And you as well, but me particularly hard, was if there is one thing that you should do as an artist and photographer, right? It is to invest in your skill set to learn how to market yourself online, okay? To learn how to run your business online. Don't wait. You know, many people who are listening to this, you know, never really took it that seriously, or maybe took it moderately seriously. You guys can only answer that question yourself. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how seriously did you, you know, take like, I'm going to become great at email marketing. I'm going to become great at social media marketing. I'm going to become great at, you know, like running my business online, expanding as far as I can.
Great.
You know,
generating, doing it.
Yeah. Well, that's the point, right? That's the point. Is like, you know, like my hope during that whole period was I was really trying to get everybody to wake up and understand. The sooner that you do that, the sooner you're going to get to whatever success level it is that you're after. Because otherwise, what are you doing it for, right? What are you doing it for? And like, you know, all of that advice, you know, was literally just bullseye, just dead on, you know? And here we are, like, you know, first week in November goes by, okay? And by the way, we should say, like, so art sales up 300% year over year, right? What we're showing you guys right there is that from the artist and photographer websites at Art Storefronts, their sales are up 300% on the average year over year. Okay. So it's just a remarkable number. But what is even more remarkable about that is that's for the first week of November, and it happened during the election week. During the election week, right? So this week's number, once we get that on this upcoming Monday, you know, is going to be even more interesting. And then obviously all the way through to Black Friday. But the fact that the sales were up that much during an election week, right, is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's staggering.
Staggering. It's just another cherry on top of everything that we, everything we've been talking about the entire year, right? Since the pandemic began.
It's been consistent. Well, let me go into my 3 trends. Let's give that some color, and then we'll come back to the 300% and kind of rant on that for a little bit. The 3 trends that I wanted to discuss in particular, and it's like, all you have to do is open up whatever site you get news from, okay, and pull an article on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Q4 sales, what it pretends, the holiday buying season. AMZ Black Friday is the day after Thanksgiving, okay? And every single solitary one of the articles, it's like a gold mine out there right now. Like, in the 3 trends, big picture, are increased e-commerce adoption across the board, okay? Sales are moving up and up in the holiday calendar, plus lasting longer. And retail is not coming back anytime soon. Just period, full stop. So couple of quotes that I took from the Newsweek, and I'll put some of these things in the show notes too. The projection now is that e-commerce sales will jump 25 to 35% this year over last, which was compared to 14.7 increase in 2009. That's according to Newsweek. And give you one more stat within the stat, Nick. When you start Googling this a little bit lower is when it really gets striking. The credit card usage of around 10 million credit card holders in Japan suggests that the increase in share of online purchases was highest for users in their 60s and 70s. So in their 60s is a jump from prior to COVID, 15%, now 21% of total purchases, okay? And from the 70s, 10% to 16.4%. I mean, what are your parents doing that they've never done before? Buying
things online, getting groceries sent to their house online, ordering from restaurants online,
Mm-hmm. Who would most argue has the highest amount of money, disposable income to spend on art, by the way?
Yeah, that group.
Yeah, that group. So
seniors, right?
Yeah, there's literally stats at like every single solitary clip. The shift from offline to e-commerce, and it's just a big deal. I mean, it's a huge deal across the board. And I think the takeaway is, if you're not online, you're not in the game.
Yeah. Do you know what else? Do you know what else it is too?
It's like, you're not in the game.
We are living in the age. We are now living in the age of like the rise of the small business micro entrepreneur, let's call it, right? Because you can operate from home. You're a photographer, you're a painter, right? If it's just a small side business, right? You just want to earn an extra 10 grand a year, 20 grand a year, something like that. You can legitimately do it. No problem. You know what I mean? Like, it takes work. Obviously, everything takes work, but you can do it and you can succeed doing it. And if you want to, have a $300,000 a year art business, you can do it. It's happening. That's not like conjecture. That is fact. That is truth, right? We have people doing it at art storefronts, straight up, Yeah. And all the way from the lowest to the highest, you know what I mean? And so we are totally living in this age, and that's what's so exciting. That's really what I would say is the takeaway for everybody from this, right? It's like, don't get caught up in the rah of like, yeah, art sales are up and like all this different stuff. Understand what's really happening there. What it means for you. What it means is there's never been a better time for you, right? There's never been a better time for the micro entrepreneur to, start their business or take their business more seriously or take it to the next level. It was really hard before. I mean, like, that's the truth, like in the age of the retail gallery and the art show pre-internet, okay, where you had to just go to art shows and then you had to like hustle the galleries and then work through art publishers. I came from that world, right? I've been in the art industry for over 20 years, right? And I was at like the tail end of that. But I mean, for the small business owner, the micro entrepreneur, do you know how hard it was? It was near impossible. It was near impossible. That's why the starving artist problem was real, and it's 1,000-year, millennia-old problem, But obviously, our mission at Art Storefronts is to solve that, by making it easier for, small business owners and micro entrepreneurs, artists and photographers to run and grow their business. But that's the takeaway, that's the big takeaway, is that the more you see, guys, the more articles that you see in the news, You're going to see more and more of this over the holidays. Like it's going to be nonstop. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Yeah. It's going to be the biggest Black Friday ever. You will see those articles the day after. You know what I mean? It's going to be the biggest Cyber Monday ever by far. And then when the whole thing is over after December, it's going to be the biggest online holiday shopping season ever in history, right? And when you guys see those articles, right, that more business has moved online, you all should be jumping up and down, because that just means that the power is shifting to you, okay? And in the art industry, okay, in the art business, what it means is the power is shifting away from the former gatekeepers, which were the gallery owners, and then the art shows, having to go to the art shows, right? And the art publishers.
Total gatekeepers to you, by the way, it should be stated. The ones
total gatekeepers. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. So COVID or with COVID, like it doesn't matter. It's the fact that the power is shifting to the individual, right? And that's an amazing thing, right? Like it's something that should be celebrated. And anytime I see those types of articles, I get super excited. Because you just know that like it's no longer in the hands of the rare few, right? And it's now everybody's empowered. Everybody's empowered to sort of control their own destiny. You know what I mean? To own their own customer list, not rent them, right? Like when you sell through a gallery or through a third party, like they own the customer. That's where all the value is, because right, like it's widely known, right, written in several books, that the average collector should be buying about 8 pieces from you in the lifetime, right? If you're running your business properly, 8 pieces. Okay. So the smart people acquire the customer and own the customer, right? Because they want to get the 8 pieces. The gallery owner wants the 8 pieces, not the one sale. So they'll use your art to get that customer, because that's where all the value is, right? And that's offline galleries and online, right? Because the online galleries, they hide the customers. They know what they're doing, Hey, let me get this customer and I can sell them art for the rest of my life, So that's the thing to celebrate. Anytime you see that more sales are happening online, all that means is you have access to that customer. You have a bigger market that you can go after and target with your art business. And we want that thing to be as big as possible. I want it to be, as big as it could possibly be, because I know that it's great for all of you guys.
Yeah, honestly, the obliteration of gatekeepers is probably like one of the most exciting things, period. Like there's nothing better than someone that traditionally had like power and dominion over you, not having it anymore. Like, sorry, I don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just amazing.
It's so big. It's liberating.
Yep. So that's number one, trend number one, increased e-commerce adoption. Okay. Number 2, sales have been moving up and up and up in the season, okay, as well as lasting longer, okay? How did it used to be? Used to be Thanksgiving would end, and then everyone would take the holiday weekend and know that there's a sale starting the next day. That's when we were kids, essentially, or like 10 years ago, right? That's how it used to be. What happens, though, is it's all changed, and I would say the leaders lead and or duke it out, and we all follow, okay? Prime Day. October 13th to 14th. What is Prime Day? It is a made-up holiday, okay? It is a made-up holiday that Amazon copied from the Chinese, okay? The Chinese had a day called Singles Day, traditionally 11/11, actually yesterday as we're recording this. And they made this holiday up, the Chinese, specifically it's like Alibaba and JD.com. They made this holiday up out of thin air, made it the biggest discount day in China, and it actually became the biggest day in terms of e-commerce online sales in the entire world, not even close, destroys it. Amazon said, anything you can do, I can do better, okay? And so they went ahead and created Prime Day, October 13th to the 14th. They started that, right? So, that's what happened in years previous. And essentially, they both moved well ahead of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Amazon even one-upped Singles Day, okay? And that was previous to this year. I read the article today. You probably haven't even heard this. Do you know what Singles Day did? And
no,
you can't trust the data out of China in the slightest, right? You can't trust anything that those guys publish. It's all a joke to me. But what I can trust is what they did, okay? Instead of starting Singles Day on 11/11, they went ahead and started it on November 1st and ran it for 11 days. They ran it for 11 days, right? And, you know, I've got this quote from Newsweek too, which is, this year brings additional variability because of the pull forward effect. Okay. S&P's Sarah Wea said in a research report, what Amazon launched its Prime Day in mid-October, retailers such as Best Buy, Target, Walmart announced their own promotions. Many viewed this as the kickoff to the holiday shopping in 2020. So no surprise here, right? This is a trend we've been watching for quite some time. The holiday season is starting earlier and earlier and earlier, and it's really not stopping. It starts in Q4. How long have you and I been banging the drum on this? It starts Q4 and it just goes till Christmas. It just goes.
And for our customers, when did we get them started with their marketing, right? So the whole holiday marketing playbook, right?
Yeah.
Well, when did we get them started? So
when did we get them started with their marketing? They've been marketing all year long, but when did we get them started with the sales? Like a month ago.
Yeah, exactly. So they were in early, and
yeah. When was the biggest month of our entire history of our company?
The biggest week.
Yeah.
Last week during the election week, highest sales ever on the platform in a given week.
Thanksgiving.
Is that crazy?
Thanksgiving this week.
I know. This week is going to be bonkers. I mean, it's going to be insane.
Yeah. The point is, the takeaway is that it's no longer how it used to be. The holiday buying season starts and you are on sale. You essentially have to be on sale from now till Christmas. The better you are at executing a sale, understanding the mechanics, the better you're going to do. That's it.
Yeah. That's it. And the thing is like, you know, we should say for those people who are asking, like, you know, do I still have time? Of course you still have time. You have time right now. Like you could either just keep listening to us, you know, for the next couple of weeks and keep hearing all of this, right? And then miss the season, or you can get going right now. Like you can absolutely get going right now. You don't have anything stopping you. I don't care what stage you're at. You know, if you're like brand new and you know, you're still trying to work out your pricing and how many images you need and all that stuff. No, like you're putting artificial barriers in your way. You need to get up and you need to be selling and you need to be in the market. Okay. What is your price? Your price is what's the minimum price that you will be willing to accept for your work plus 20%. Start there. There you go. That's it. Start there. How many images do you need to launch your art gallery website, right? One. That's it. Because that one, you could end up selling 10 pieces of it, right? If you're selling reproductions, you know, on canvas, metal, it doesn't matter, right? This is the time when the art buyers are pulling out their wallets. This is the biggest art selling time of the year, right? And so it's the best time to get in the game and to test what you've got, right? I love that part too, especially for everybody who's been kind of waiting around or sitting around or hasn't taken it as seriously. You know, it's like you wonder whether you have an art business. You wonder whether like how like, you know, whether your current audience that's following you, you know, it's probably your friends and family on social media, or maybe you've got a business and you've been selling for a while but you haven't really taken the online that seriously, or you really want to grow that. And it's like, this is the perfect time to test exactly what you've got. What assets do you have in terms of your email list and your current following? You might have very little or none in terms of email. You might only have a social following. That's okay. But you launch and you use the marketing tactics and you start trying to sell, you know, and by the end of Cyber Monday, this is the plan that we have for a lot of people that are new at Art Storefronts, right? By the end of Cyber Monday, if you follow all of our stuff, all of our marketing plan and advice, right? If you have not sold anything by the end of Cyber Monday, you know, then we're going to be starting to work on adjustments with you, right? Because it's all about getting traction. So you may need to make some adjustments in the way that you're marketing. That might be the problem. You may need to consider pivoting, you know, your subject matter, using your talent, in other words, like on a slightly different subject matter that has greater marketability. All of these things are on the table. Or you may just sell quite a bit of artwork and you have completely validated. You've completely validated at that point, right? And you know what you're working with. And then you're now going into 2021 with some firepower behind you, right? With some momentum, which is exactly what you want. Because I think 2021, if this year was big, 2021 is going to be a really big year, really big, you know? And so it's like, there's no better time. There's no better time. Get everything out of the way and get on, get on the ball.
Yeah, I would also say too, like the common misconceptions are, one, that you have more time and you can wait for your sale and wait till Black Friday. And then two, you run the one sale and you're done, right? That's a conventional wisdom out there. And it is so wrong and so incorrect. If you go one episode back in this show, I gave this analogy, but I'll give it again for those that don't hear it. The buyers that we're all trying to get are like pelagic fish, okay? Pelagic fish or open ocean fish. They don't have the home, okay? Your boat is out there in the ocean, right? And your line that's in the water is your sale, and you're trying to catch the fish. Here's the thing. From now till Christmas, okay, sometimes the fish are going to be up at the surface, i.e. you can sell your product. Sometimes they're going to be down below. Sometimes they're going to be 300 miles away. So what does everyone think? They motor their boat out, they throw their line in, they have their sale for 3 days, and they leave. Okay. Problem is, there was only some small portion of the fish at the surface during that time. Okay. What do we instruct our customers to do? What do we teach them to do? The boat left already and is not coming back till Christmas is over. There will be lines in the water. At different times, different fish are going to be up. And if your deal is in the water the entire time, your well-executed sale is in the water the entire time, you stand the greatest chance at catching fish. We report last week during an election in which nobody won, in which the entire world was watching that, we had the biggest week of sales in the entire history of our company. That is not normal. That is not normal. Guess what? We wouldn't have predicted it. But guess what? I don't have to predict it. It's essentially like going to the roulette table and I've got chips down on every single solitary square on the entire thing. Okay. I've got it on every one. I don't care where it hits. I don't care when it hits. Right. We wouldn't have predicted it was going to be last week. Right. And it might just be every week from now till then. I don't care. You don't care. Winning, period. Sales will be in the water. You need to be on sale from now till Christmas. That is such a critical point. Go ahead.
It's such a critical point. It's such a critical point. And it's like, and like think about the preparation, like the value of the preparation, right? Our members, at Art Storefronts are taking art demand out of the market a lot, right? Yep. Like last week, they took a lot of demand out of the market. This week, they're taking a lot of demand out of the market. By the time it hits Black Friday, right? They're going to have taken, millions of dollars, millions and millions of dollars, straight up, millions of dollars of art out of the market. And that's an amazing thing. And so there's so much value in that preparation. And I say that also because I know there's a lot of Art Storefronts members that are listening to this right now. And it's like, you got to get on the ball. If you haven't started the marketing in the art marketing calendar and the whole playbook that we have for the holidays, you got to start now. Like literally get off of this, just get off of this call or this live video and just get started now, right? Like, because you're going to have a big advantage immediately. And for those of you sitting on the sidelines, get in the game, in the game quick, And if you want us to help you, we can help you. Request a demo. You can get live. We can get you live at Art Storefronts. Okay. We can get you live, and show you the way within days, right? Obviously depending on your tech skill, but our team right now, our whole support team is like, Pat, they're working extra hours. They're working, overtime. They're doing everything because everybody that's all the new members at Art Storefronts are mad dashing right now to get live and to get in the game, So we got the resources here for anybody that's looking to get up right away. So.
Yeah. And it gives me a good pivot. It's like, the next topic is retail's not coming back anytime soon. Right. But the fact that the retail is not coming back, we're going to get into it, is what creates this opportunity for the direct-to-consumer small merchant to all of a sudden find their wings and really kill it, right? But the takeaways of being on sale from now till Christmas, the big boy players are already doing it, right? The leaders lead and we all follow. That's really what it comes down to. We're not reinventing the wheel. You just need to adjust your mind and understand oh, wait a minute. Of course, I'm not the size of Amazon.com, but I can copy what they're doing and apply it to my little operation. and bank all of those retail learnings that this giant has gotten for the last 20 years, which is all we've done, which is why we're recommending you start earlier and have it going the entire time. It's just my fish analogy. I didn't come up with that analogy. Amazon did. They know the rules. They're going to be on sale from now till then. So are all the big box toys. Okay. So now we get into retail not coming back anytime soon. By the way, this sucks. I pulled this one from the Newsweek, but several major retailers have already filed for bankruptcy protection, including J. Crew, Neiman Marcus, Brooks Brothers, Lord & Taylor, Century 21, Tailored Brands, Moore's Clothing, Joseph A. Bank, and Men's Warehouse. And, you know, whatever. Those are all clothing ones, but I didn't know that. I didn't read that they all filed for bankruptcy protection.
Those are a lot of big names.
A lot of big names. Thanks. Listen to this stat. Okay. This one was from Deloitte, also from the Newsweek article. Thanks in part to coronavirus fears, 64% of this year's holiday budget is expected to be spent online. Nearly 2/3 of those who plan to shop online said they sought to avoid crowds and like the convenience of shopping from home, Deloitte said. Okay. That one's nuts. Okay. So not doing anything until the vaccine comes. And then this one, a survey of 4,102 shoppers nationwide by New York-based consulting and advisory Deloitte again, 51% are anxious about in-store shopping, and 49% they don't plan to resume pre-pandemic shopping patterns until a vaccine is developed. It's like, what more takeaway do you want? Galleries are toast. Fairs are not coming back until it, like, you know, I read a lot of the hyperbolic statements that like the world will never be the same post-COVID, right? I ain't buying that. It's going to go back to normal, but I don't think it's going to be years. It's going to be years. It's going to.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go back. I don't think it's going to go back to normal. I think that anytime these changes happen, if you look at history, you never ever go back, ever. There's like books written about this. When things change, you never go back. It's a different world. It literally never ever goes back. That doesn't mean that like art shows won't exist. Like, you know, like,
no,
like all of this.
It's going to come back.
It's just going to be a little bit different. You know, it's just going to be a little bit different. You know, the behaviors of people, the buyers, like everybody knowing what they can buy online. You know, the convenience of it and all that type of stuff. It's just going to be, everybody's going to spend their time a little differently. Like, you know, because one of the biggest things there too is that I love when really smart business people talk about this, right? Like, some of the most successful businesses out there are the ones that sell you time. You don't realize it, but they're selling you time. And Amazon is actually selling you time, right? Like, a lot of goods on Amazon are more expensive. You know, like a shampoo bottle is probably more expensive than it is actually at the store, right?
Doesn't matter.
But
Doesn't
matter. You know what I mean? Because you got that thing coming right to you, and it's free shipping and all that stuff. And the convenience is just insane, you know? And so the businesses that sell you time are the ones that are the most successful. And so everybody experiencing that, you know, in the pandemic, that maybe weren't as, you know, apt to buying online, buying a lot of different stuff online, experienced that. And you're not just going to go, unless you have nothing to do, you know, you're not just going to go and just give all that time right back to where it was when you've enjoyed having that time back. You know, I think it's something that we can really appreciate, and everybody out here, like, that's parents, you know what I mean? Or if you have, like, you know, if you've got a part-time job or a full-time job and you're trying to run your art business on the side, like, anybody that has a lot of like time restraints, which most of us do, I'm assuming almost everybody listening to this does, right? You appreciate all that time. That time's important, you know?
No question. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be some sort of new normal, right? And I had an art business workshop yesterday, and for the uninitiated, Zoom calls where you get to come talk to me, get some free consulting, link in the bio if you ever want to join their front. Anyway, glass artist on, right? And in his 60s, done extremely well at the shows and fairs forever. And he finally realized, like, my goose is cooked. Those things are done. Like, my health issues don't allow me to do it anymore, and they're not coming back at any level of certainty. And, you know, to go back to where we started it, in many ways it's liberating, right? Because lack of booth fees, lack of gatekeepers, lack of loading up the car, lack of having to go there. That part's liberating. That part's amazing. That part's awesome. The difficult part is what's in between, which means you have to get work at your marketing. You have to build your attention, and you have to do that work. But what's at the top of the hill is the most amazing thing. And I keep explaining this on the workshops. This is the age of the new solo entrepreneur merchant, where you can jump the gatekeepers. Yes, you have to work on your marketing, but then instead of paying the booth fees and leaving your house and setting up, staying in a hotel, you broadcast live to an international audience and get a sell direct. You could run 3 live shows from the comfort of your house in the time that it would take you to load up the car and go to the show, right? There's no booth fee. There's no driving. There's no split. You get your time, energy, effort, and life back. And there's no gallery either. There's no thing. I mean, it's one of the most exciting times. And it's even bigger just than the artist or the photographer, right? It's like the direct-to-consumer merchant.
Yeah. You know, the thing is that like, I think that going like with the art shows, it's like, I love the art shows. Like my wife and I, we take our kid, we go to them all the time. We go to them all the time for years, you know? We'd go to like the Sawdust Festival and the Pageant of the Masters in Laguna Beach when we lived in California. We're in Austin, Texas now. You know, there's a lot of great art shows here. Love those things, you know? But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'll say is that pre-COVID, regardless, right? Most artists and photographers had the wrong perception, the wrong mental model, the wrong premises of what the art shows were for their business. Too many of them viewed their business model as like, I'm just doing art shows. I'm doing pretty good at these art shows, right? The art shows are unscalable. They're totally unscalable, right? So there's only, you can't drive across the whole country and get, I mean, you could, but like you're talking about a lot of cost, a lot of effort, you know, and a whole different situation to do that, right? So they were already unscalable, okay? And so that's why you and I both know this. The people that did really well at art shows, they were still only making like $30,000 or $40,000 a year typically, right? Like that's it. And you know, let's call it that, right? Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but they also were tapped out. They were tapped out with like, you know, like the amount of time and energy they were putting into those things. And the reality is the right mindset for art shows in the past and in the future is that they're lead generation, you know, they're a lead generator. That's what they are. Okay. Because you can go to the shows, you can also validate your art there, right? If you're brand new, it used to be the easiest way to validate your art. Just go to an art show, try to sell some stuff. If you don't, you know, nobody bought it, right? Like you got some problems. So you could see whether your art was going to sell or not and how much it would, right? But the art shows, you know, you'll probably make a couple of sales, which is nice. And if you do the lead generation strategy, you could collect 50 to 100 emails at each one, right? And so you can use that to, you know, put a little bit of money in your pocket, but also to start seeding your audience, you know, which you need. You need that. You need to get those emails. You need to take them. You need to start emailing these people, get them to your online gallery, right? Which is your permanent store that's open 24/7, right? And then get them following you on social media. And there's tactics for doing that so that you have their attention and you can market to them for years, not just that one show that's come and gone, which is what the vast majority of artists and photographers did, right? They would sell something at the show and then it was done. They would really never do anything with that customer afterwards. Some did, but the artist and photographer weren't collecting leads. They weren't looking at it as a lead generation thing. So going forward, you know, if it were me and I was successful at art shows, I would still be incorporating those as they came up, you know, but I would be viewing them completely differently. I'd be like, what are all the art shows that I can do? Okay. I'm going to go and make many sales at those as I can. But every weekend or that I'm doing one of these things here and there, I want to be generating leads. I'm hopefully going to collect 1,000 leads. I'm going to grow my email list by 1,000, right? Because if you get all those people and then they start following you on social media, right? Those are 1,000 new people sharing your posts, commenting on your posts, and potentially you can get second, third, fourth, fifth sale, right? That's what's so important about it. And there's a key stat that we've talked about. We released it in our blog, and it was in, you know, the online annual art market report from Insurers Hiscox, right? Who releases this big report. And it's that, you know, only I think it was about 62% is what the number was. It was like 62 or 64%. Only 64% of the sales that you make are made at the actual art show. If you actually collect leads and follow up, you know, in the way that we're talking about, there's like another 35 to 38% of sales that you could be getting after the fact, right? And so you should have been doing this anyway. You should have been doing it anyway, right? But that is the right mental model, I believe, right? For the art shows in the past and going forward. They should be easy ways for you to increase the size of your list, right? Your lead list, to make some sales and get some money in your pocket, right? But to take all of that and get it into your broader online strategy to build your global international art gallery business, right? Which is highly scalable, right? So it's just one tactic in the whole scheme of your business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but a very important one, right? Like the tendency is to think that we're anti-show or anti-having your stuff in the gallery, or even anti-having your stuff into an online gallery. And nothing could be further from the truth. They all present various different opportunities to grow the business. The online shows and the ability to get new art, new photography, new tests in the water and directly talk to people, very difficult to replicate. Very difficult to replicate in the same capacity online as well, even with live art shows. So there's a tremendous amount of value in there across the board. But never art galleries, shows and fairs, online galleries in lieu of building your own online business where you own the customers, you own the email addresses.
There you go.
You own all of it, right?
Well said.
The most heartbreaking thing over the last 6 to 9 months are all of these folks that have been incredible careers selling art of photography. Many cases, 30, 20, 10, 15 years, killing it with the offline revenue sources, doing fantastic, but not growing their socials, not capturing email addresses, not having their own website.
Big mistake.
All of a sudden, boom, pandemic hits. All of those revenue sources are done. They can't go to any of them. The galleries are closed. That income is not coming in, period. And they have nothing. They have nothing. What can you do? What you can do is start gathering emails. Well, Patrick, I only have one person on my email address. And to have to tell somebody that's like cut their teeth and it's been at the top of their game for 25 years and it's so personable and good at selling in a booth, I'm sorry, you have to start from scratch. The internet don't care. Because that's a tough conversation to have, right? It's a tough conversation to have. So, you know, in any time you have a massive disruption like what's going on now in COVID, it presents incredible opportunities. The big picture that we're trying to say is that if you understand the business model, if you take it serious and you start growing it, the next time COVID comes around, I mean, we're going to get through COVID, whether it's vaccine or whatever, but there's always another COVID on the horizon, right? The thing to shake the entire industry. The key is just understand the moment in time, DTC being the model, owning your own attention, owning your own email list, and then never stop growing that, right? Never stop.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what I got in notes. I think that was a pretty good session. And, you know, again, I really loved the roulette analogy that I came with for the moment. But the fact that our sales were up 300% is where I wanted to finish. Year over year last week. Do you have any idea what that portends between now and the end of the year? Doesn't matter whether you want to take our data seriously or Newsweek's or Deloitte's. There is time to get your operation up and running and get a sale in the water. If you're an artist or a photographer, whether you sold nothing or you sold a tremendous amount of art before, if you don't get a doggone sale in the water, and by which I mean immediately, and keep it up for the rest of Christmas, you are missing out on the single solitary greatest opportunity that's existed to sell art photography in the last 10 years, full stop. I don't have any other way to say it than that.
There's no other way to say it. I mean, it's like, there are no excuses. There's no excuses for anyone. Like, if you have a piece of art sitting in front of you, you should be selling it straight up, right? If you have photographs that you have taken that you've been wanting to sell, you know, and you've been thinking about selling, you need to get some prints made, a couple of prints. It takes minutes to get that done, right? And you'll be ready in a week, you know, or 10 days. You'll have those things in hand and you're ready to go. Like, but you're taking advantage of this exact time, which no matter what the outcome is, everybody wins during this time. You know what I mean? Like, some people may not feel that way, And I want to encourage everyone, because there's going to be artists who don't do as well as they hoped. And then there's going to be people who totally exceeded their expectations. Everyone wins. Why? Because if you didn't do as well as you hoped, it's one of the best things that it's the best information that you can get as an entrepreneur. Okay, is like the real truth from the market about what the state of your business is, whether your art is really scalable, whether you need to maybe pivot a little bit. Like, that information is gold. It can hurt, but like, yeah, sometimes the truth hurts, and like growing hurts, right? Growing as a human being, growing a business, no different. It all hurts, you know, it hurts. So like but that information is how you actually make progress. And that's what I love about it. There's so many artists and photographers that have been sitting here in like fantasy land, right? Like contemplating about what they're going to do, or thinking about this or thinking about that, right? And like, you know, you have the opportunity to like get all of those questions answered and actually move forward, right? Otherwise, the season will go by.
You can go back to all that contemplation after you've run a sale. After you've run a sale from
that's right. After you've gone to the market and really tried and executed, you know, like, because otherwise what happens? They go into next year, they go into January, February, still in fantasy land with no real truth from the market, right? And like, it's just, this is the time that you got everybody's attention. You know, there's other times throughout, you know, the year that these situations happen, but it's not like this one right now. So get on the ball right now, guys. Get on the ball right now, right? Like, this is going to be it's going to be an amazing time.
Don't we have a sale running?
Yeah, we do. We do.
We got a bonus sandwich coming too. I don't even know if we're allowed to mention that yet.
Yeah, you know, that's a great tease. By the way, why don't you talk about that you're running a workshop tomorrow. So anybody that has their doubts, you know, or unanswered questions, or when I say has your doubts about whether you can get up right now, get live, right? Online and start marketing immediately and start making sales. If you don't think you can, come to Pat's. I got to point, which way do I have to? Yeah, I got to come to Pat's workshop tomorrow.
Point all directions. Yeah.
Come to Pat's workshop tomorrow. What time is it at? It's a live Zoom call, guys, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. And you can ask him questions verbally. Like, you can raise your hand and actually ask him a question to get past your issue. And hopefully at the end of that call, you're literally moving forward. You are moving forward, right? So what time is it at?
What is it? It's 11 a.m. Pacific, 1 Central, 2 Eastern. 2 Eastern. Easy.
Perfect. So get on our email list. Make sure you're on our email list, and
there's links everywhere where you can go to Zoom and just register and come on and hear the rest of it. But yeah, so
there's links on this post, links in Instagram to register, and you'll be notified. But yeah, you got any doubts? Go there. You know, otherwise, if you want to learn more about art storefronts and potentially get up right away with us, request a demo ASAP. Yeah, we're going to be announcing a very special deal, which will apply to any of you tomorrow. Pat's going to announce it tomorrow in the workshop, and then it will be publicly announced, I think, on Sunday or Monday, something like that, if you're on our email list, right? But the people who come to the workshop are going to get a little special heads up to try to maybe reserve a spot in advance.
Don't tease me.
Yeah, especially because if you need help, that's one of the things. If you need help, if you're going to need help getting your website launched and live, we got a few spots where our team will do it for you. Okay, they will do it for you, and they will set it up perfectly according to best practices, which we know. And so that way you are going to be live 100%, right? But there's only going to be very limited spots for that, because we just don't have enough staff to be able to, you know, do the full service for that many people. So, but even if you want to do it yourself, there's a phenomenal deal that is going to be announced. So take advantage of that and keep your eyes peeled, guys. But yeah, there's nothing in your way, right? There's nothing in your way.
Nope. Till we come back on and cite the stats next week. Woo!
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
All right, we leave it there.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to play the outro music.
Perfect. Right, good to see everyone.
the 3 trends, some rants, some raves on where we think things are. And on that note, thanks for listening. And as always, have a great day. I got to end the StreamYard one.